Hello, my name is Andy, and I am a minister at Trinity of Christ Ministries. We're an online ministry, a church that you can come to attend, do all church things from home. We do this for the elderly, for the disabled, for those who are homebound, and also for anyone who just wants to attend. You can become a member of our church and not become a member of your own church that you're currently at. You know, it's a different ministry. You can remain still being Catholic or Protestant or whatever Christian denomination you are, but you can also attend, help, and be involved with God, because that's all we are trying to do is reach out to those to get closer to God. So I hope you'll come and enjoy this Bible study. We're doing Proverbs 15, which means it's going to be mostly one-liners, and I'll try to explain the one-liners as we go. And I'll put it up on the screen so that you can see it. Now, if you like the video, please like, subscribe, or share it to someone who might be able to use it. Let us begin. I'll put it up on the screen. Don't mind me as I just set up. Okay. Proverbs 15. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. It is always better to build up than to tear down. A gentle answer to someone who's screaming in your face may well save an argument. It may well save you from a beating. So take that to heart. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. The tongue of the wise adorns knowledge, but the mouth of the fool gushes folly. In other words, think before you speak. Don't just gush out whatever happens to be on your mind at that moment. It may not be wise and it may not be kind. And we are called to build each other up. 3, the eyes of the Lord are everywhere. Keeping watch on the wicked and the good. There is nowhere that you can go that God is not. He is part of you. He's inside you. He knows your memories. He knows everything you've done. You can't hide from him. Although we still try, don't we? The soothing tongue is a tree of life, but a perverse tongue crushes the spirit. I'm going to talk a little deeper on this one. The soothing tongue is the tree of life. Think about it if you were a parent and you're bringing up your children and you want them to be well-rounded and understand things and be able to deal with life. Well, you're going to use a smooth, soothing tongue and encourage them to grow, encourage them to know God, encourage them to have common sense. But a perverse tongue would be something like saying to your kid, you're worthless. You're no good. You'll never amount to anything. And that curse sticks. So be aware of the curses that you say, because it may have more meaning than you ever thought. 5, a fool spurns a parent's discipline, but whoever heeds correction shows prudence. It's a common thing. You speak to a teenager and they'll say, "Oh, I don't listen to my parents. I listen to my friends." And it is a foolish trait that we cannot seem to help. It's part of our growing up. But a friend didn't feed you for 15 years and put a roof over your head or do any of these other things that a parent does. They do that to protect you and to make you safe. And somewhere in the journey, teenagers want to rebel. They want to stretch their arms out and get out on their own and make decisions for themselves. And what this is saying here is listen to your parents. That no matter what age you are, they're out for your own good, even if you don't see it. 6, the house of the righteous contains great treasure, but the income of the wicked brings ruin. In other words, earn honest living. You don't have to be looking over your shoulder to see for someone to take it from you or for the cops to come get you. Because once you get that stain, it's nearly impossible to get rid of. The lips of the wise spread knowledge, but the hearts of fools are not upright. A wise person will spread his wisdom because it will come back on you and benefit you as well as them. Think of a community that uses wise thinking. The whole community is brought up and grows. But if you choose to be a fool and live like a fool, you drag yourself and everyone around you down. 8, the Lord detests the sacrifice of the wicked, but the prayer of the upright pleases him. I'm going to take a moment with this one. What does it mean? The Lord detests the sacrifices of the wicked. Aren't we commanded to sacrifice, at least in the Old Testament? When we sin, we sacrifice for the forgiveness of our sins. Why would he reject that? Pretty simple, because some people will abuse it. They're not truly sorry for their sins, they're trying to get away with them. And God knows the difference. The word is intent. What is your intent? Do you intend to sacrifice something and then do it again? Are you planning on asking for forgiveness of robbing someone and planning on robbing someone that very night? Are you going to throw it in God's face and say, you have to forgive? He'll respond, no, I don't. But prayer on the upright pleases him. If you're honest and you're really sorry for your sins, he will hear you. If you repeat a sin, that's human. It's not necessarily going to destroy you. However, you can't go into it with the idea that you're going to continue. You need to change. You need to reject what you did because it was wrong, not because you got caught. 9, the Lord detests the way of the wicked, but he loves those who pursue righteousness. Stern discipline awaits anyone who leaves the path, but the one who hates correction will die. So many times I've seen people who you try to give them some advice and they refuse to listen. I've even seen people put their hands on their ears and go, la, 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 so they don't have to listen. That's a fool. Even if you don't like what they're saying, you should listen. You can disregard it later if you find there's no truth in it. But if you close off your mind and you close off your eyes and you say, I'm going to do whatever I want because I want it, the truth is going to bite you, and and you know what? 11, death and destruction lies open before the Lord. How much more do human hearts? God can see everything. Mockers resent correction, so they avoid the wise. If I don't have to hear it, I don't have to do it. Classic foolish. A happy heart makes the face cheerful, but heartache crushes the spirit. I think everyone has experienced times where they're happy and times when they're crushed. It's like an immense gap between the two. Seek to be happy, seek to be cheerful, build each other up. Don't be dishonest, but try to remain happy wherever you are. The discerning heart seeks knowledge, but the mouth of a fool feeds on folly. All the days of the oppressed are wretched, but the cheerful heart has a continual feast. I'm going to address that one just a little bit because it's not real clear. Uh, all the days of the oppressed are wretched because the choices they make cause the wretchedness, cause the chaos, cause the trouble. But the cheerful heart has a continual feast. If you have a cheerful heart, no matter what your situation, you can't help but be lifted up. And it becomes a way of life. Do you want to be the person that's always downtrodden or do you want to be someone who smiles and is happy, inviting situations and things to change? '16. Better a better a little fear with a fear of the Lord. Oh, let me reread that. I'm reading things out of context here. Better a little with the fear of the Lord than a great wealth with turmoil. So you're better off being poor, but loving God, having the fear of the Lord, than have great wealth and no peace in your life. 17. Better a small serving of vegetables with love than a fattened calf with hatred. A hot-tempered person stirs up conflict, but the one who is patient calms a quarrel. The way of the sluggard is blocked with thorns, but the path of the upright is a highway. What they mean there is if you have a heart that's lazy and you don't try and you don't do things to make your way better, you're going to struggle all through your life. But if you take the path that is upright, you will plan and you will build up and make things better so your life runs smoother. 20. A wise son brings joy to his father, but a foolish man despises his mother. Folly brings joy to one who has no sense, but whoever has understanding keeps a straight course. Plans fail for the lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. A person finds joy in giving an apt reply, and how good is a timely word? The path of life leads upward for the prudent, to keep them from going down to the realm of the dead. 25, the Lord tears down the house of the proud, but he sets the widow's boundary stones in place. In other words, the Lord looks after those who are humble and those who are in need. And he tears down the house of a prideful person because they say, I did this, not God. And everything we have is God's. I'm going to stop for a second. Almost all Proverbs is understanding and recognizing the truth. That is what wisdom is. Wisdom is to see the truth and act on it. Knowledge is, you can have a lot of knowledge of things and places and science and, all these physical things you can have knowledge of. But if you don't know how to use it, what good is it? Please try to seek wisdom. Wisdom will point you towards the truth, and truth takes you out of the chaos, and truth makes your path straight. And so you make a better life by walking in truth than to step in every dung heap that happens to be in your way. And when you're thinking of Proverbs, think of it in that manner, that it's God sharing little truths with you to keep you from stepping in the mess. 26. The Lord detests the thoughts of the wicked, but gracious words are pure in his sight. The greedy bring ruin to their households, but the one who hates bribes will live. The heart of the righteous weighs its answers, but the mouth of the wicked gushes evil. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he hears the prayers of the righteous. Light in a messenger's eyes bring joy to the heart, and good news gives health to the bones. Whoever heeds life-giving correction will be at home among the wise. Those who disregard discipline despise themselves, but the one who heeds correction gains understanding. And wisdom's instruction is to fear the Lord, and humility comes before honor. What does it mean that wisdom's instructions are to fear the Lord? Does that mean you tremble in his sight? Sometimes. But fear of the Lord is more a meaning of respect. You respect the Lord. You respect his righteousness. You respect his justice. You respect his power. And when we are very sinful, we fear the Lord for his power because we know that, he can put us into hell. In reality, he doesn't put us into hell, we do, but that's another story. But as you grow closer to God, that fear of God changes from fear of punishment to fear of disappointing. You want to please God, and you don't want to disappoint him. And that is a sign of growth in your faith. And humility comes before honor with God. Anyone ever hear in the world that you should think of yourself? You should build yourself up. You should, make yourself look better than you are so you can get ahead. These are worldly thoughts and worldly ways of teaching. And God is the opposite. He doesn't see pride as a good thing. He sees humility as a good thing. Because pride comes before a fall. When you're prideful, you're unable to be taught. When you're prideful, you're unwilling to listen. When you're prideful, sometimes you're lying to make yourself look better. And God sees through all of that, and he knows exactly what we are. So it is for us to come to him humbly, and that opens the door to wisdom. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, press the like, share, or subscribe for more. You can see all the videos on trinityofchrist.org. I always get stuck. I want to reverse it, Christ of Trinity or something, but it's trinityofchrist.org. Have a good day. God bless you.